Hello there, and thanks for joining me at my bench once again. And today I'm going to tie you up a here's your soft tackle pattern, and I think it's a very easy pattern to tie, and like on a lot of easy patterns, it's effective. And it just uses some here's your dubbing, which I mixed up myself. A little bit of UV flash in it, but it's just regular here's the ear without the flash. And a little bit of wood duck for the tail, gold rib, and some light brown soft hen hackle for the collar. And I thought you might like to see this one tied up and maybe give a few of these a try and add them to your box. And so I'll get this guy out here and get started for you. And I'm tying him on my regular wet fly hook. It's 33.99 size 10. I usually don't tie them this big, but for the video I'll tie them on a 10. I usually go from about a 12 down to a 16. So I'm doing this guy on a 10 so you can see it good. And I'm using some brown Danville 6/0 for the thread. So we'll get started here with our thread base like usual. Put a hook eye length behind or so, and we'll start wrapping back here. Touching wraps. And I'll snip off the tag end here. Alrighty, we'll come back a little ways yet here. Just to the bend of the hook there. And the tail is simple, it's just some wood duck fibers here for the tail, and this is just mallard flank dyed wood duck. And keep the tail fairly sparse. I like to keep this particular fly pretty much sparsely tied, not too heavy on the materials. So I probably got about 10 strands of wood duck here. I'm just going to measure that about the shank length and tie that in here. Get a pinch loop on that. Get that where we want it. Then we're going to come forward a couple wraps and I'll snip that off about the body length here. Alrighty. There we go. Alright, so there's the tail. Now the rib is just some size 16 uni mylar tinsel, and we want the gold, so I'll snip about a 4-inch piece off here. And we'll bring that in so that the gold side is facing down on the far side there. That's where we want it to be. So I'm just going to make a couple wraps and then pull it to length here to match where I cut off the tail material. And then we're just going to wrap back on that. I have one unruly fiber there. I got to get out of the way, trim him out. Oh, it's attempt 2. There we go. Alrighty. Now I'm just going to wrap back to where I want that to be. And we want to come back to just about above the barb there, close to it. Anyhow, it's good. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap that body material down forward. Get that all wrapped in tight. And bring my thread back to in front of my tail here. Alrighty, so now I'll stick that in the material clip out of our way. So I'm going to take my dubbing blend here, but first I'm going to get a little bit of tacky wax on here. And when you dub the body, you want to get a little bit of slight taper going towards the eye on this guy. But like I was saying, I'll keep it fairly sparse, not too thick of a noodle. So we'll start that here on the thread. I just think adding a little bit of flash to your dubbings makes a difference sometimes. A little extra to catch the fish's eye there seems to help a lot of times. Alright. Okay. And we'll begin to wrap that on here. Okay. And proceed forward. And I'll have to add a little more as we go up just a tad bit. So touch of wax. And a little smidgen more of the dubbing here. And I think that should be fine. Alrighty, that's fine right there. As you can see there's a slight taper there on that, not a lot. And we got a little bit of bugginess there as we do in here's your dubbing. Now I'll take the tinsel here. I'm going to wrap that forward here. And I probably go for four wraps usually on this particular fly. Okay, and then we'll come up on the 5th wrap and tie it off. A couple wraps, keep my thread tight. Now I'm going to wrap forward on them, a couple wraps, and fold it back on itself to lock it in place. And come in nice and close to snip the excess tinsel off. And there's the tail and the body so far. Okay. Now we simply grab I have a light brown soft hen hackle here, and I got the tip ready to tie in by the tip here, so place that on top, right behind the eye there, make a couple wraps, fold back on it, and then I'm going to reach in with my fingers, or you can snip it out if you can't get a hold of it. Give it a little pull, and hold the hackle up, make a thread wrap behind it, just to prop those fibers up there. Then rest my thread behind the hook eye. Grab my pliers and we'll grab onto that stem, just like so, and stroke the fibers back a little and begin to wrap forward. Okay, and we'll use all the hackle here on the sky. Alrighty, that's fine. Bring that stem around that there. I just want to back that off a little bit. I don't like the way that wrapped. It's one good thing, you can always back up if you don't like the way it looks. Alright, then we'll tie off the stem here. Keep nice tension on the thread there. Check that, it looks pretty good. Now just gently fold everything back. And I'm going to wrap up onto that stem to lock it in there. Then I'll grab that little stem and give it a pull, just like so. And that's pretty much it, folks. That's the fly. Very simple tie, but a very effective soft tackle on the swing. It's not overly dressed, so it sinks well. So we're just gonna do our whip finish and it's a done deal. Okay. Alrighty. So we'll give that a 4 or 5 turn whip finish here. Just like so. Snug down on our thread nice and tight. Snip off the excess. And there we go. Another size 10. Here's your soft tackle. One of the easier soft tackles you'll tie, this guy here, but definitely a fish catcher, because we know how well the trout like the here's ear dubbing on flies, that's for sure. Now I'm going to take a little bit of head cement, go around the thread wraps to finish them off here. Just a light coating around the thread wraps there. Okay. Turn around, get the bottom there. Side. And there she be, folks. Okay. So I hope you enjoy seeing that guy tied up, and you'll give him a try. Not a hard pattern at all. And if you don't have the here's your dubbing, if you can't blend it with the flash, just your regular here's ear would work just fine. So until next time, folks, I want to thank you very much for watching. I know it's been a while since I put a video out, but I'll keep them coming as soon as I can. So I want to thank you all for watching, and if you hadn't subscribed yet and you'd like to see more of my flies, just hit the good old subscribe button there and the little bell so you can be notified when I put a new fly out, and throw in a like too if you wish. And any comments that you might have, put them down below and I'll read them for sure. So until next time, thanks for watching, happy tying out there, and I'll see you all again soon. So long for now, folks.